Good morning, students. So today we will see the first step towards the Java programming. So for any programming, the important element for the good understandability is nothing but presenting comments. Okay. So to understand what a program we are doing and who did it and what is the purpose of we are doing this programming, so everything can be represented with the help of a comments. So in Java also we have a comments, and there are three kinds of comments available. So single line, multi-line, as well as the Java documentation comments. Okay, so I think you are well known about the single line comments as well as the multi-line comments. So single line comments are used to present a single line of comment. The length of the comment should be single line only. And the next one, and comes to the multi-line, here we can present more than one line as a comment. So that is about single and multi-line. So Java documentation comments are the special to this Java programming. So where you can provide some information related to the basic elements of the Java. So what are the basic elements in general in Java? So that is a class, object, methods. Okay, class consisting methods. Okay, so where we can provide some description or information related to class and method. Okay, so this is the way you can define. So two forward slashes for single line comment and one forward slash and a star, where you can write multiple lines and end with a star and forward slash. Okay, and next one, when comes to the Java documentation comment, there we can provide forward slash two stars. Okay, but end with only a single star and forward slash. Okay, so this is about comments, single line, multi-line, as well as the documentation. Okay, so maybe you may difficult to understand what is the Java documentation comment. So let's see. Creating of an API document. Okay, so we already know what is a Java document. Java doc is a tool that is available in JDK that we already know from the previous slides. Okay, so we can create a document API application program interface. Okay, by using the Java document tool. Okay, so if you write a program, so this is a Java program. So I will explain what is the program means. So first, any Java program, not only Java program, let's take a C programming. So you start with a C program by specifying, including header files, right? Okay, so later on you can comes to the functions. In that you can define a variables and after that you can provide some actions on the variables, right? Okay, so in the same way Java also start with some including header files. Here the header files are nothing but packages. Okay, so here, so this is the document comment. Okay, so slash two forward slashes as well as the end with the star one forward slash. Okay, so what is the purpose of this particular class? We are defining class here. Okay, and we are defining method here. So what is the purpose of this class? This class is a user defined class that contains one method cube. Okay, that means what it give, it is not defines about a program, or maybe it is not about like a set of descriptions. Okay, so multiple lines. Okay, it actually the comment defines about a class. A class is nothing but a basic element, right? So to define the basic elements of a Java programming, we have comment. Okay, maybe you can use a single line comment here, maybe you can use a multi-line comment here, but when you use this Java documentation comments, okay, the third one, Java documentation comments. So with the help of this comment, you can create an API document. Okay, now, so it is just like a HTML page, right? Okay, so when you execute you will understand. So when comes to the single line comment and multi line comment, so they won't reflect the any execution part, and means you will get only output whenever you execute the single line and outline, that won't reflect in the output. Okay, but when you present these documentation comments in the programming, when you execute with the help of a Java doc tool, okay, it will generate an API document. Okay, while working you will understand. Okay, so single line comment, multi line comment, and Java document comment, whatever may be the type of a comment, they are useful in to understand the program. Okay, whereas a single line, multi line comment will not reflect on the execution. If you specify the Java documentation comment, it will reflect in the execution part. If you use a Java doc tool, one of the tool, it will give an API document. Okay, so here also method is also a basic part of a Java program. That means it is there in the class. Okay, so first we have to define a package, then we can define a class. In that we have a method. Okay, so there we can use system.out.println alone in C. You can use it to print the output, but here you have to use a system.out.println. In that system the first letter should be capital. Okay, all these are nothing but programming things we will learn one by one. Okay, so starting a Java program. So you you already learned a C, and you know the template of a C programming. So first you have to specify the header files. If any global variables you can specify. Later on you can go with the main. In that you can specify the local variables, and in that method you may use some actions. Okay, and if you want to use some methods for that main, you can define prototype also. Before main you have to specify the prototype. Okay, so like that there is a template for the C programming. In the same way you have to follow this some specific template for the Java programming. First you have to define a Java library. Library is nothing but a packages only. Okay, so collection of packages is nothing but a library. There you can define packages, and in that packages is nothing but a class and interfaces. There then you can specify classes and interfaces, and finally what there in the classes and interfaces is nothing, methods only. Methods are exist in the classes and interfaces. Classes and interfaces exist in the packages. The packages is actually there in the Java library. Okay, now so first you have to import the classes. Okay, so that means a system is a class, string is a class here. Okay, so if you want to use a system, means if you want to use a system.out.println for printing, how you print, so whenever you want to use a printf scanf methods in C, you have to use you have to include stdio.h, right? Okay, in the same way if you want to print some data in Java language, you have to use system.out.println. Okay, so if you want to use a system.out.println, you have to import a java.language.system. Okay, or java.language.io. Okay, like that you have to specify. So these are the examples for the packages. Java.language.system, java.language.string, java.language.star. Okay, so here java.language.system means, so we need to import this only system alone class, string alone class. Okay, so otherwise you have to import both the system and string. Means you can specify simply star means all. So in java.language package, if you want to use entire thing of this package, you can simply specify star. Otherwise you can specify system or string, whatever the class you want to import. Okay, use it. Okay, so here java.language.system is a package, java.language.string is a package, java.language.star is a package. Okay, but how to include those packages into the program means with the help of a keyword import. Like include, we have a import. Okay, I will tell you the difference between import and include. Okay, after importing the packages, the next thing is class. Okay, how to define a class in Java? So this is the way. So class is a keyword and the first is the name of the class. Okay, so this concept is a very new in the Java programming language. Okay, so let me see whether the recording is happening or not. Yes, it's happening. So when it comes to the class creation, every class creation should start with a class keyword which can be used to create a class in Java. Okay, after that, after the class keyword, you have to specify the name of the class. Okay, there are rules to define a class. How you follow, that is simply called as a naming conventions. Those are available in C also. Okay, and after that, statements. So statements means you have to specify some brackets here. There you can include some set of statements. Okay, obviously statements is nothing but some executable statements. Okay, so packages, classes. Okay, in that classes, methods you can specify. How to define a method? So same as, okay, so same as a method name, same as in C. How you define method name? In that method name, in the parenthesis, you can specify some variables, arguments, right? Okay, but here in Java, so one compulsory method is there, that is nothing but a main method. Okay, so main method in C, main method in Java are similar, but the syntax is different. The purpose of main method is the execution of the Java program or C program will start from the main method only. But the syntax of a main method in Java will differ. So it is just like defined as public static void main. In brackets, you can use a string, space, arguments, and there you can specify the array brackets, square brackets. Okay, so the syntax should be like only. Okay, like this only. So you have to specify S as a capital here, but when it comes to the all remaining keywords, only small. Okay, so public small, static small case, void small case, main small case, where only string S is only capital. So after that arguments, and after that array or square brackets, we can close the parenthesis. Okay, so I will explain what is the keywords one by one. Okay, so you understand the structure of a Java programming, I hope. Okay, so first you have to specify the packages. In that packages you have to specify the classes and interfaces. You know classes well now till now, but don't know about interfaces. We'll see later. So when it comes to the methods, method should be there in the classes. The compulsory method is nothing but public static void main string arguments. You should specify the method syntax like this only. Okay, now so then only Java programming will recognize it. Otherwise, it won't recognize. Okay. So we already discussed about import, right? So import is a keyword which can be used to import the packages in the Java programming. Okay, it is similar as a include in the C programming. What is the difference between include and import? Okay, if you use include in C programming, if your C programming, let's take an example, if your C programming length is 10 lines, after compiling, so the length of the C programming will become, for example, 210 lines. Okay, so 10 lines programming will become 210 lines. So the length of the C programming will increase. The SLOC, source line of code, will increase. Okay, so what is actually happening is, so whenever you compile the programming, so the actual thing is, so the C compiler will copy entire code which is there in the include file, header files, will copy entire code from header files to the C programming. Okay, so what is the problem here is, so for copying it will take time, the length of the programming increases, again the running of the program will take more time. Okay, now so that is the one of the biggest drawback in the C programming. Okay, but when it comes to the import keyword in Java language, it won't copy any data from predefined files to the Java programming. Okay, Java program. Okay, so what actually happened in the Java programming is it will execute the import keyword whenever we use an import keyword with the package like this. Okay, so the result of this package will copy and paste here. Okay, it is already predefined. Whenever we call that package or a file, it will execute over there. Okay, the only result, the result may be on 10 lines or 20 lines. Okay, not entire file. Okay, so the in C the entire code will be copied from the header file to the source file, but in Java only result will copy from the package to the source file. So that is the difference in the include and import statement. Okay, so just we saw the outlook of Java programming. It consisting packages. In that we have a classes. In that we have a methods. Okay, so for defining packages we can use import keyword. Later you can define classes, class name. So within the flower brackets you can specify the methods. So how to define a method? So the same you can define in the C. So method name, in the method name you can specify the number of arguments if required. Okay, but in Java compulsory method is there, that is nothing but a main method. The syntax is just to be like that. So, okay, public static void my string arguments. Okay, so naming conventions in Java, what is meant by naming conventions? How to give a name to a basic elements in the Java, the rules for specifying the names. Okay, for classes, methods, packages. So a package is nothing but a collection of classes and interfaces. In one package we have set of classes as well as the interfaces. How to give a name to a package in Java? So the name of a package is consisting all small letters. So if you see here, so java.awt, java.io. Okay, so there you have to specify the all small characters, and Java should be the initial keyword for representing the any package. Abstracted window toolkit, input output, any Java package consisting only small letters. Okay, until it is a class. Okay, so next one, class and interface. In the package what we have, class and interface. Okay, how to give a name to a class and interface? Here the each class name and interface name should start with a capital letter. That means if it is a single word, the first letter should start with a capital. Okay, if the class name or interface name consisting more than one word, that means data, input, stream, action, listener. Okay, which means it is a combination of more than one word. Okay, in that case you can specify capital letters for each word first letter. Okay, data, in data D is a capital, in input I is a capital, in stream S is a capital, in action listener A is a capital letter, listener L is a capital letter. Okay, so naming conventions are nothing but rules that should be follow for giving a names for the classes, methods and packages, variables. Okay, so for packages we should use a small letters only. For class and interface we can use capital letters for starting of each word. What about methods? Okay, so we can use small and capital letters for defining the method. Okay, if it is a single word we can use only small letters, and if it is a if it is a more than one word combination, for example a read line, okay, so first word, first letter should be small, but when it comes to the second word, second first letter, it should be capital. This is also called as a camel case. Okay, so if it is consisting third word, in third word also first letter should be capital. Okay, so that means for defining a method, if it is a single word, it should be in sample small letters only, but it consisting more than one word, so the first letter in the first word should be small, but when it comes to the second and third and so on words, the first letter should be capital. Okay, this is the rules for the naming conventions. Okay, and what about the variable names? Okay, the variable names also follows the same naming conventions as the methods. Okay, if it is a single word, you can use the small letters only. If it is a capital word, more than one word, you can use the second word first letter should be capital, like employee name. Okay, so for age single word, you can use a small letter only, but when it comes to the employee name, combination of two words, a name means there you can use a capital letter. Okay, what is the difference between a method and a variable name? Okay, there we have a parenthesis, here we don't have a parenthesis. In C also, so you can give the same name put to the both here in Java also you can give a same name to the variable as well as a method, but how they differ means if you specify the parenthesis after the name, that is nothing but a method. If you didn't specify parenthesis after the name, that is simply called as a variable within the class, within the method. Okay, so that is the thing. Keyword means the predefined meaning there for a word. So keyword should also be written in the small case in Java. Okay, so we have to look at what are the keywords available, and okay, so class examples and all. We'll see the basic concepts in Java, then we'll go with the programming, then you will understand. Okay, so data types in Java. What is a data type? Basic definition of a data type. Okay, so it defines the type of a data. Okay, simply a data type is nothing but it defines the type of a data. How many how data types are classified? Primitive, non-primitive, that is nothing but predefined as well as the user defined. Okay, so in primitive we have Boolean, numeric. So Boolean, we have a Boolean type, we have a Boolean data type. In numeric type, we have a character, integral data types. In the integral, we have a integer data type, floating point data type. In that integer, we have 4 types of data types. In floating point data type, we have 2 kinds of data types. Okay. So when it comes to the first integer data type is used to define the integer values. Okay, so integer data types are actually subdivided into 4 types. They are byte, short, int, long. So this is about ranges, -128 to +127. So -32 768 to 30 plus 32 767. Okay, so these are nothing but a range of values. Okay, that means in this range only you have to give a value for a specific data type. Okay, so for example, byte is a data type and x is a variable name, so you are assigning a value, so that is a 127. So is this 127 within the range of this byte data type? Yes. Okay, so if you specify 128 here, okay, it will give an error. Why? Because it you defined as a byte data type, but the range of value is in between -128 to 127 plus. Okay, but if you specify +128 now, it will give an error. Why? Because so this is a out of range value. Okay, and so in the same way, so this range is used to useful for specifying the value for a specific variable of a data type. Okay, if it is a byte, what is the range of a value? If it is a short, what is the range of values? If it is a int long, what is the range of values? Okay. And when comes to the, so memory is occupied by the specific data type. Okay, so 1 byte for the byte. Okay, 1 byte means 8 bits. When comes to the short, you have a 2 bytes. When comes to the int, in int you have depending on the system it will take a 2 and 4 in C, but here in Java it will take 4 bytes. Okay, for long it take 8 bytes. The memory occupation of data types is differ with C language. Okay, for int it will take 4 bytes, for long it will take 8 bytes. Okay, so this range means it specifies the value range that is given to a specific variable of a specific data type. Okay, so this is the way to declare a data type and a variable. Okay, so byte is a data type, x is a variable, we can assigning a value. Okay, this is about integer data type in Java. What is a data type? Basically data type is nothing but it defines the type of a data. So if it is a 127, it is an integer data type. That, so by looking at the data what we can specify, so it is a data type. If we don't specify 127 here, so byte x means what it means? So x is a variable of byte type, means the range of value should be minus 128 to plus 127. The memory occupied by the byte data type is nothing but a 1 byte. Okay, so that is the thing we have to remember when we look at the data type. Okay, so this is about integer data types, the ranges, actually the types, the range of values, and the memory required for the data type. Okay, so after that, a float data type. Float data type is used to define the floating point data type, that is done but decimal values. Okay, so decimal value means after period we have a values. Okay, precision values 3.14, 0.0012. Okay, so there are two kinds of floating data types are there. One is a float, one is another is a double. Okay, so what is the difference between a float and means the precision values? Okay, so float is a single precision floating point number, whereas a double is a double precision floating point number. Okay, so you don't confuse the difference between these two. So this is the faster memory will size occupied by these types is 4 bytes and 8 bytes. Okay, here int also occupies the 4 bytes, here float also occupies the same 4 bytes. The difference is for int it is a only numerical values, but here we can include some decimal values also. Okay, okay, some precision values. So here you can specify float x equal to some value and end with a capital F. F is nothing but it defines that the value is nothing but a float data type. But when it comes to the double, you don't want to specify any D here. Okay, so double is a default float data type in Java. Okay, if you want to specify a value, if you use a float, it will take only 4 bytes. Okay, that means it can be treated as a float. Okay, but when comes to the double means if you specify a value like this, like you don't specify any F, it will automatically treated as it means the memory size is 8 bytes. Okay, if you want a float data type, you have to specify F here. Okay, so after decimal point period, so we have 7 digits in the float. Okay, but when comes to the double, we have a 15 digits after the decimal point. Okay, so that is the difference between float and double also. Okay, in the memory occupation, float takes 4 bytes and double takes 8 bytes. By default, double is the float data type, so we don't want to specify n if f for the double. Okay, if you didn't specify means so that is treated as a double data type. Okay, and after period we can specify 7 digits precision values for the float. When comes to the double, you can specify 15 digits after the decimal point. Okay, so that is about a double. Okay, the next one is character data type. In C also we have a character data type, but here the difference is the memory allocation. Okay, so it will take a 2 bytes in Java. If you see the memory size taken by the char in C language, it will take 1 byte 8 bits like that. Sometimes it will take 1 bit also for storing one character. Okay, enough. But in the say Java language, it will take 2 bytes. 2 bytes means 16 bits, right? Okay, so what is the need of this 2 bytes is nothing but to store the Unicode. Okay, so what is meant by Unicode? Unicode is nothing but a universal code. So Java is not only a programming language, it is actually global programming language. What it mean? So Java is available in not only in English, in Chinese, in Japanese, in different languages also it is available. Okay, so maybe in English the X is nothing but single character. Okay, I don't know Chinese, I don't know Japanese. I think you also don't know. But even if you go with the our national language, I mean in our Indian languages like Telugu, Tamil, Hindi, if you want to specify a single character in Telugu, you may use one single letter. In Hindi, you may use one or more letters. Okay, in maybe for example yes, for example yes, alphabets S. You can use S alone as an alphabet, but in Telugu you have to use Ya and Sa, and after that in Hindi you can use two characters. In Tamil we can use more than one character. Okay, in Bengali you can use more than one character. Okay, in Kannada you may use more than one character. Okay, in Indian languages for specifying a single character, some in a specific language you use more than one character. Okay, not like a English alphabet. In the same way, if you take a character like X, okay, so in English it will take only single bit to store. Okay, but when it comes to the Chinese, maybe Japanese, okay, so in French you may use more than one character. Okay, so to represent a character in different languages, we use a Unicode format. Not we, Java people use Unicode format. So where Unicode format the maximum size is 2 bytes, that is nothing but 16 bits. So 16 bits of characters can be occupied in some cases. Sometimes it may take only 1 bit, only 1 byte, but the maximum size defined for the this character is nothing but Unicode. I mean 2 bytes. So to store the Unicode. Hope you understand what is Unicode. Okay, so Unicode is nothing but a format. In any language, if you want to store a specific character, it will be helpful. Okay, maybe in English it will take only single bit, but in Chinese or maybe Japanese, in French, so it will take more than 1 bit to specify the same character. Okay, so to represent those kind of Java is there in Chinese also, Java is there in Japanese also. So to occupy those characters also, Java people specify the length of the character is 2 bytes. Okay, hope you understand. For the representing of Unicode system, the character is defined as 2 bytes. Okay. Character type is actually defined in a single character data type. Ch is the name of the variable. Okay, you can define any variable, but the name of the variable should be small letter only, equal to assigning. So there is single character we should specified in the single code. Okay, when it comes to the string data type, okay, so it is a new to you in Java. So string is a data type as well as the class also. Okay, we'll say later about that. Okay, so it is used to represent the set of characters. Okay, so New Delhi. So there we can specify the double quotes. Okay, how we have a int long, byte, short as a data types, float, double as a data types, char is a data type. Okay, so if you want to define a string data type set of characters in a double quote, you have to specify a string, s caps. Okay, so s caps. So why we are specifying s caps? For previous data types we didn't specify any caps for the data type, right? Okay, so here the string is also predefined class in Java. Okay, so we'll see that later. So for defining the string data type, we have to use a string keyword as a data type. Okay, but the string, the s is the s should be capital. Okay, when it comes to the boolean data type, so here you already know about boolean data type. So there are two possible values for the boolean data type. They are true and false. Okay, so for defining boolean you can use a boolean. So variable name equal to true. It takes only one bit. Why? Because true or false can be represented in the numerical format also. That is 1 and 0, 1 for true, 0 for false. There it will take only one bit enough. Okay, in C or maybe in Java, whatever maybe the language, for boolean variables it will take only one bit. That is enough. Okay, so that is about data types. Okay. So that's all for today.